Not entirely sure how to start this. I don't know if I'm supposed to begin by talking directly to you, or to me, or to someone else. But if anyone ever picks this up, and I'm gone, you can call me Duncan. That's not my real name. It's the one I chose for myself when I left the Order. When I was forced out from the Order. I met a man once on the side of the road who said that sometimes it helps if you make your saga something real, something physical, something you can grapple with. And I think for the first time in my life, I'm realizing some of the horrible things I did and the kind of monster I was forced to become before I chose to become Duncan. So let's start there. Let's start from the beginning, and we'll see if we can make some sense out of the violence. Like most badgers, at least most badgers from where I'm from, I was chosen quickly and vetted to join the Iron Order. It means you train, it means you fight, it means you learn. There were two things that were beyond all shame. There was weakness, and there was disobedience. And I was neither weak nor disloyal. We fought constantly as children. We wrestled, we boxed, we sword fought. I once watched one of my own mates drown another child over a toy. It was normal. If he didn't want to drown, he should have been stronger. If he didn't want to die, he shouldn't have taken the toy. Simple. I didn't question it. Not for a long time. Not for any time, almost. I was until I met Aurora. I could write a whole diary about Aurora. Sometimes I think a man meets someone that makes him question everything they learned. And Aurora made me question it all. Aurora was the wife of my lord, of my commander. To feel the things I was feeling was shameful to begin with. To follow up on those feelings, now that was a betrayal most foul. And it was one that made them, and made me, something I had never been before. And this will be the second entry. I'm not entirely positive what I was supposed to say, but we'll pick up from here, I suppose. I tried a few times to write about how I felt about Aurora. I tried to describe her in the pages. I tried to write about it, and I couldn't. I ripped most of them up. If you're reading this still, you can see the perforations where I tore the pages out. And ground most of them into dust. I burned the others. I think I threw one into a river. I'm not entirely positive which one. So we'll just pick up with the thing I can talk about, which is what happens after Aurora. Yeah, that's a good name for it, After Aurora. There was a me before her and a me after her. And a me after I walked away from her. The Lordship knew he couldn't get rid of me, not easily at least. He could have sent his assassins, but then he would have lost several good soldiers in the process. He could have disgraced me in front of the command, but then he would have lost a good field commander. If there's one thing the Iron Order is always good at, it's making sure nothing goes to waste. So he decided he was going to send me on a mission. I took a contingent of my soldiers and I marched to a clearing. 3 clearings were supposed to be subdued, but we were going to start with the first. A massive clearing for us squirrels. Little red ones too, the vicious bastards. The kind that eat more meat than they do acorns. They'd built a great citadel in the trees. A series of rooftop bridges and roped swings. They could have rained down death on us and it would have been easy. On top of that, they'd built a network of underground tunnels to bring supplies in and out of the clearing as needed. I could have had an army 4 times the size of the force I brought, and I would have lost. so we didn't fight them. We have a saying in the Iron Order: if you find yourself in a fair fight, hang your tactician. It was the dry season, and I had my men construct a trench 20 feet deep and of damp earth, and I had us set up with shields and crossbows about a half a mile long in a line. And then I sent my fastest, sneakiest little bastards to the other side of the clearing, and I had them torch it. I had them fan the flames. It's not easy to bring in water through those small tunnels. It's not easy to climb down from your treetop fortress to bring water to douse your home as it's going up in flames. Those that didn't succumb to the smoke or the fire ran screaming straight out toward our line. And if they didn't get cut down by the crossbows, they fell into that damp trench and died there. And when it was all said and done, and there wasn't a single one of them left standing, I sent a single badger into the center of that clearing, and I had him climb on top of a mound of bone and ash, and I had him plant a flag. The other 2 clearings surrendered. From that point on, it was a series of smaller missions. A series of ideas to try to get me out of my position. He didn't have to try very hard. I kept telling myself that what I'd done in that clearing I had done to get back to Aurora. The truth is, that was selfishness. I did it for me. Soldiers have to die, that's fine. But I had killed innocents. There had to have been at least 1 or 2 good souls among those squirrels. I've convinced myself of that. And even the soldiers didn't deserve to die in the way they did. I didn't tell anyone I was leaving. It would have been harder, I think. They would have tried to stop me, kill me, take the armor from my back. I left my sword. I don't use a sword anymore. But I kept the armor. I'd earned the armor, I think. But it's a good reminder, at the very least, of what I was once, and what I might still become. I'm ashamed to admit I did one more thing that I regret. I stole a woodcutter's axe from the first homestead I found that night. Tore it right from the stump. A knight should have a weapon, and I figured an axe wouldn't be nearly as bad as carrying the same sword I'd carried with me for so many years. It's a simple weapon, and I would endeavor to live a simple life. And this is the 3rd entry in my ramblings. I think it might be the last. I think I've worked through it for the most part. I met a man today on the side of the road. He's another badger. A blind one. It's crazy to meet a blind badger. In the Iron Order, we'd have cast him out at birth. But there he was, sitting on a tree stump, soaking in the sun like a plant. Recognized me by scent. Recognized me by the smell of steel. Something on his face told me I think he knew exactly what I was, where I'd come from, but he didn't ask any questions. He just talked to me for a while. Told me sometimes it was easier to write down your saga. Might be simpler to face it that way. And he made me soup. At the end of the night, I asked him what his name was, and he told me it was Duncan. I said, "That's a good name." And he said, "You can have it. Seems like you might need a good name." I think that's the first gift I've ever been given out of kindness. It's a good name. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I don't disgrace it. I'm gonna stop writing for a while, I think. I'll see if there's more I can add to this after I've done something worth doing. After I've become a man worth being. But if you find this on a metal corpse, just know that I tried my best. Know that I'm sorry.